You know those moments when you're watching The Simpsons and suddenly feel like they're peering into a crystal ball? How come so many of their predictions become true in the future? Like they called Trump's presidency way back then, and now they're hinting at stuff for 2024. It feels fascinating and spooky at the same time. Maybe the director is secretly consulting with astrologers or something, or maybe it's all just a coincidence. While you have seen many predictions becoming a reality in the past, here I'm with a list of 10 latest predictions by Simpsons for 2024. What's coming up in the year ahead? What big events are we going to witness? And are these predictions really a possibility? Let's dive in. Number 1. Trump's 2024 presidential run. Remember when The Simpsons predicted Trump's presidency sometime back in the 2000s? This prediction was validated when Trump was elected president in 2016. But that didn't stop there. In 2015, they dropped another prediction. This time, once again, about Trump. The show predicted that Trump will run for president once again in 2024. With that, everyone started wondering if another Simpsons prediction was about to become a reality. In episode 17, called Bart to the Future of the 11th season, we see the Simpsons peeking into the future. The clip shows Homer Simpson flying past a sign in the background. Can you guess what the sign reads? Read closely. Trump 2024. Yes, that's right. What's more interesting is that this episode went on air long before Trump even became president for the first time. And here's the catch. On Tuesday, November 15th, 2022, Mr. Trump, the former president of the United States, stepped forward to announce his decision of getting back the lost throne.
I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
In that apparently very big announcement, Trump came into the spotlight and announced his entry into the 2024 elections. He expressed his ambition, saying, "In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States. But just as I promised, I am your voice." A.I. Gene, the current showrunner and executive producer of The Simpsons, decided to rather be in the same spotlight. He came up with a tweet sharing a scene from the Simpsons episode showing the world how they predicted Trump's 2024 presidency back in 2015. So, do you think Trump would be able to take his throne back at this time? Only time will tell. But if the Simpsons say so, I'm just going to believe it. Number 2. Eating virtual food. Imagine having a delicious meal that's not even real. It's all virtual, made possible by fancy technology. I am talking about virtual dining, and yes, The Simpsons predicted that for 2024 as well. You heard that right. In Season 11, Episode 17, the show presented a scene where Homer and Marge were enjoying a virtual food delicacy. You can see them having a virtual fudge through straws that were connected to their virtual reality headsets. But before you consider it gibberish, let me tell you this isn't just in the cartoon world. Ever heard of Aero Banquet's RMX? It's a mind-blowing VR dining experience dreamed up by Italian artist Mattia Casalegno and the Rahi Restaurant Group, backed by the James Beard Foundation. This project aims to reframe our perceptions so that there's a change in the way we experience food. While this may sound absurd, it's truly fascinating at the same time. It is a multi-sensorial and multi-course meal experienced in mixed reality. Guests wear VR headphones that take them to a virtual environment where they eat. While we're not quite at the Simpsons level of digitized food just yet, with tech moving at such a speed, who knows what's next? So, would you like to have such an experience? I would love it. As long as it doesn't cost me a fortune or an electric shock. Number 3. Robots will take over. Remember when the world got shaken for a while with the launch of ChatGPT by OpenAI in 2022? From writers to software engineers and content creators, everyone was scared of losing their jobs due to artificial intelligence. In fact, even right now, about 42% of Americans are of the view that AI will make it harder for them to land new jobs. All this fear can be attributed to AI's capability to read, write, and understand text-based data really well. Undoubtedly, there have been many layoffs in the labor force ever since. Among all this, what you are missing is the Simpsons prediction about the AI revolution. Or it would be better to call it a robotic revolution. The Simpsons have this knack for predicting all sorts of crazy tech stuff, and they didn't miss the mark on the rise of the robots. This time, the show depicted human employees being completely replaced by robots. In episode 17 of season 23, there is a scene where Homer loses his job. His employer basically fired all the human employees only to replace them with robots. But, well, the robots went crazy. Considering the Simpsons prediction record and the situation of robotics and artificial intelligence today, it's likely we will see AI robots replacing humans in the near future. They are already in industries doing welding, painting, and a lot of other work. Found in the homes, performing tasks like cooking and cleaning, that too more accurately and precisely than humans. I mean, aren't they already here? Now the question is, will these robots really try to take over the world in 2024? I hope not, but if they do, let's not forget to do a robotomy. Number 4. Colonizing the Red Planet. Unlike the rest, this prediction might freak you out, particularly due to the way the story unfolded in this episode. So, in episode 16, The Marge-Ian Chronicles of season 27, Lisa discovers that the government is looking for volunteers who would be willing to migrate to the Red Planet, Mars, where they can start their lives all over again. To be amongst the Martians, Lisa, along with her family, joined on this mission. But after a great deal of adventure, their spaceship refused to move any further. That's not it. There's something even strange. The episode ends with a glimpse of the year 2051, showing Lisa and Marge. Can you guess what it was about? If you thought of them living on Mars, you're right. Now, if I were to say that The Simpsons probably foresaw the future here as well, I wouldn't be wrong. After all, our very own Elon Musk has been obsessed with colonizing Mars for a long time. And I don't think it'll take him long to start doing it in 2024 either. For The Simpsons, it was more of an accidental colonization. But what if we actually witness the Red Planet getting inhabited by humans soon? Number 5. Translating baby cries. How much of a help it would have been if we had a translating device that could simply tell us what a baby wants when they don't stop crying, right? I mean, that guessing game with your baby can get a bit too frustrating at times. Guess The Simpsons were done with those baby yapping as well, because they also predicted a machine that could translate everything a baby was saying. In Season 3, Episode 24, Brother Can You Spare 2 Dimes? There's a scene where Homer Simpson's half-brother, Herb Powell, introduces his new invention. And yes, you guessed it right. This device he made was meant to translate baby language. However, the problem is, the idea was too unrealistic to be true. But here's the deal. There's something that is very much similar to what Powell had built in that episode, and I think translating baby language isn't that unrealistic after all. Today, there's a device called Sound Dream. The main function of this device? To translate baby cries. The creators of this device believe that baby cries are universal, and no matter where the baby is in the world, the cries always mean the same thing. In short, they imply that babies have their own language, and we adults simply need to either know the language or use a translator to help us understand what's going on with our little buddies. The project is in the early stages right now, but the creators are pretty confident that this will be a hit. I wonder if they have Powell hiding in their labs working on the device day and night? or if they took the formula of how the machine works from the writers of The Simpsons. Number 6. Holograms will be everywhere. This one's also from Season 11's Episode 17, and boy, I see the prediction put very clearly there. The writers of The Simpsons truly have some love for predicting the technological advancements in the future. I mean, haven't they predicted enough? Remember when they showed a GoPro camera when those things didn't even exist? But in this scene, they actually predicted that hologram technology would take over everything. In this episode, there's a scene where Bart has a mailman over, but the mail he receives is not some letter, but instead a whole holographic message. I mean, how did they even come up with that? Now let me tell you another crazy thing. The first step to a proper holographic technology has already been taken, and the world knows it as the DreamOC HD3 hologram technology. Now, this isn't as advanced as shown in The Simpsons, but the way the world is advancing, I don't think it'll take long for the prediction to actually become a reality. The episode shows a compact hologram display with 3-side visibility. Making that kind of hologram definitely needs a lot more work to be done to become a reality. But once it does become a reality, things will change all around the world. It's possible that we will abandon cell phones and just go for holograms instead. Maybe there will be holographic classrooms, doctor appointments, and much more. Who knows? Having a full-fledged, compact, holographic messaging device in your pocket is a crazy idea, to be honest. But if it comes out in the market, you'll definitely see me do anything to get my hands on it. Number 7. Another world war. Imagine waking up one morning to the sound of alarms blaring and bombs dropping outside, only to find out that we have entered World War III. Scary, right? Well, a special episode of The Simpsons that aired on the Tracy Ullman Show in 1987 might have predicted the Third World War. The episode didn't exactly show a war going on, but what if it was a warning? A warning for the upcoming doom that might ruin how the world looks right now? I mean, looking at the current geopolitical tensions, one can really see where we are headed. Russia and Ukraine have been at war. Israeli bombing over the Gaza Strip isn't hidden either. But that's not even all that's going on. Even China is all set for a war because the country wants Taiwan to be a part of its territory. The artificial islands, nuclear weapons, bioweapons, and regularly worsening conditions of the world are enough to confirm that Homer Simpson's wasn't really just joking around. We all really need a bomb-proof bunker in our homes, and we also need to start doing those drills as well. Looking at today's scenarios, the possibility of a third world war has never been this big. And again, the soothsayer predicted it ages ago. And if World War III actually begins, is there any chance of the survival of the human species? Will we even survive and be able to revive the world? Because the weapons they'll be using this time around are no joke. If you look at it closely, it's not just a matter of a few clashes. We're talking about nuclear powers locking horns. And once those nukes are out, it's a game over for humanity within days or maybe hours. So, are we on the edge of a global catastrophe? Can we prevent such a grim fate? Guess only time will tell. Number 8. Mind control. Using music. This is the kind of prediction my mom might use against me because of the ridiculous amounts of music I listen to every day. I mean, music gets everyone going, right? And we have to admit that music can get so addictive at points that it feels difficult to back off. You might even find yourself listening to the same song for like 100 times over. It's moments like these that can cloud our perception of what we're actually listening to. Are we being controlled by music? That's the question that comes to my mind. Sounds illogical? Not so much when you look into the 14th episode of the 12th season of The Simpsons called New Kids on the Bletch. The plot of this episode revolves around Milhouse, Nelson, Ralph, and Bart. They formed a boy band called the Party Posse. Quite an absurd name, don't you think so? But that's not what's important. Well, the kids are recruited by a shady organization called the Navy to be part of a top-secret project. The aim of this whole project is to boost patriotism among the American youth. Initially, nobody is aware of the true intentions of the organization. They are only thrilled with the attention and fame that comes with being a boy band. However, Lisa becomes aware of the true intentions of the Navy. What she finds out will also shock you. The Navy has actually been using the music video of the party posse to transmit subliminal messages. These messages are hidden within the catchy tunes and flashy visuals of the music videos that have been encouraging young people to enlist in the Navy. But that's not all. Lisa tries to expose the truth, but she faces resistance from those who benefit from the scheme. Though she remains successful in breaking free from mind control, this episode gives us a reality check. What if that's exactly what the government, music industry, and social media aim for? To control our minds and to manipulate public opinion through social media platforms. So next time you're listening to your favorite track, maybe take a moment to think, am I really just dancing to the music? Or is there something deeper going on? Number 9. Zombie apocalypse. Zombies don't really have to do anything with reality. They have been a big part of the end of humanity fantasy for a long, long time. And I think as of today, people don't even take them seriously anymore. But once again, can we really be not scared of them? With such a strong track record of The Simpsons predictions, I can't say anything with certainty. Zombies, essentially the walking dead, don't exist in reality. But you can witness Springfield being overrun by zombies in one classic episode titled Treehouse of Horror 3. It all starts with Bart and Lisa tampering with a mysterious book of dark magic when they accidentally get struck into the zombie apocalypse. Classic sibling thing, right? Well, those hungry zombies, ready to attach to anything that comes their way, were seeing up everything like a snack. Adding more to the adventure, Springfield's resident mad scientist, Professor Frink, takes on a time-traveling journey. Yeah, you heard me right. This is when we found our favorite yellow family bouncing through time to undo the zombie apocalypse. But all this looks pretty unrealistic and nowhere close to reality, right? While we do not have zombie outbreaks in the past, nor are they expected in the near future, we cannot forget about diseases and viruses outbreak, particularly the most recent one, COVID-19 pandemic. And how can we forget about mind control or manipulation? Not through zombies, but the parasites that can take control of hosts' behavior. Scary stuff, right? But that's very much possible, and I definitely am scared. Like that World War III warning, this could also be just another warning. But before you take The Simpsons zombie apocalypse in literal meaning, let's keep it real. For the chances of having a full-blown zombie apocalypse like that in The Simpsons are slim to none. But there are scientists out there who keep looking for frozen ancient viruses. What if one of those viruses is what The Simpsons were warning us about? Maybe they all need to stop that research, because it's very much possible that a brain-eating virus might be just lying around there waiting to be released. Number 10, economic downfall. By now, I know for sure that these Simpsons writers have some sacred book or some seer sitting around them when writing the scripts. This one's from Bart to the Future too, but the prediction I'm going to talk about is pretty wild. Bart to the Future is a pretty famous episode and holds great importance in terms of predictions. While this episode points towards the female presidency, there's another important event that is likely to occur in the near future, and that is a financial calamity. Lisa, on taking power, comments on how they have inherited a budget crunch from President Trump. You can even hear them talk about how the country is now broke.
We're broke.
The country is broke? How can that be?
That depicts only one thing, and that's the fact that a major economic crisis would have occurred if The Simpsons had been right about this one too. With America bringing so many political tensions to the plate, it's expected to have an economic downfall in the coming years. Though this episode might have been played for good laughs, the idea of economic collapse is no laughing matter. Economies are fragile, and by looking at their trajectory, we can expect anything bad in the coming years. But that's not something to dwell on, as every other country in the world is going through rough times in this post-COVID phase. So, whether it's Lisa, depicting the first female presidency, or economic woes, there's one thing for sure. The Simpsons have a knack for predicting things about to happen. Number 11. The release of Barbie movie coincides with Trump's arrest. Though this prediction is not something about the biggest happening that would turn the world, it is worth mentioning for accuracy. Barbie fans might remember that Trump got arrested the day this movie was released. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg indicted Trump on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. This marks the first ever instance of a former president getting indicted. While it was such an important event, it coincided with the release of a new teaser trailer for the Barbie movie. As if this wasn't enough, these were actually the plot points of an episode of The Simpsons. If you do not know that, let me tell you what exactly happened. The Simpsons predicted it way too long ago in 1994 in the episode titled Lisa vs. Malibu Stacy. It is the 14th episode of the 5th season. In the episode, the news anchor gives an extensive 28-minute report and then casually mentions the arrest of Donald Trump just before winding up the show. The similar circumstances took place more than 30 years later on April 4, 2023, when many news reporters preferred to focus on the Barbie release instead of the former president's indictment. Coinciding these two events and having it all predicted so many years ago actually makes us wonder if The Simpsons is written by a bunch of people who run the world. Or is it just its satirical take on current events and trends? Out of all, this particular prediction left me astounded for quite some time. How can a show be purely coincidental at so many points? And that was it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. And which of these predictions do you think are most likely to become reality in 2024? And which one do you think would stay only a prediction? If you liked the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon to get all our videos on time. Until next time.